Hello ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop New York, Season 9. Episode 2. So let's jump right into this. I'm not doing this in any particular order. What was that? In any particular order. So we can talk about Jonathan and... we'll talk about Jonathan and Juju and Kimbella and Yandy and Remy Ma because it's all twist. No. Let's talk about Rich Dallas is back. So he's trying to, lay low with the Creep Squad stuff, which I think is a great idea because he is way too old to be going and promoting that Creep Squad life, especially since he has diabetes, and he can't be playing around like that, doing too much. Come on now. But he's there. Jacquay is there, and not Jacquees, but Jacquay. Jacquay saying how he's a new brand ambassador of Sean John, and now he has a photo shoot, and Rich says he has a new artist he wants Jacquay to work with. Her name is Cindy Starr. And I said, why does that sound familiar? I said, huh? Why does that name sound familiar? And then I was like, she's been a part of music before. And I said, no, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, Jacquay said, is this serious? Is this for real? Or is this another one of those, oh, I'll help you. I'll get you into the industry and we sleep together. Rich said it's serious. So I said, okay, whatever. So now we jump to the meeting of Jacquay, Cindy Starr, and Rich Dallas. They met in a diner, and Cindy came very bubbly. Jacquay was like, oh, hey, how are you? And Rich said she has a big social following, and I want to work with her. So Jacquay said, nothing better than to do it. You're a rapper, right? Or whatever. All right, go and spit something. And then she did it, and she was really bubbly and animated. And I'm thinking, but these rhymes they're not good. And she keeps breaking up. Word. You dig? Hey, let's go. I said, what? Why? Huh? But then things took a turn because then she started talking about, yeah, she a girl, but she have a D. I said, wait, what? And at first I was like Big D energy? Like that phrase? And then I'm thinking, wait a minute, Sydney Starr. And then I said, wait, was there something have to do with Chingy? And it was all coming together. And then I said, no! Because when she kept saying it, and Jacquay was so confused, and then she said, oh yeah, she's a transgender, male, female, and she still has her D. I said, oh, okay. Okay. Jacquay also had that look of, oh, okay. Rich had that look of, you didn't even know, did you? Jacquay had that look of, all right. But anyway, your music, how do you sound? You sound like you need practice. And he was honest. You sound like you need practice. You were trying to go and find the words to spit. That's why you kept doing You weren't really sure of yourself. If you're going to say something, you have to commit to it. You have to find what sound and what words you really want to use and not just say stuff just to say it. And I said, oh, that's actually good advice. What the heck? Jacquay, apparently he's good at writing hooks. So I said, oh, cool. That's very important for this industry, period. So we're going to figure that out. So then later on, they go and Jacquay's friends with Nia Lee. Nia Lee does not like Rich. A lot of people forget that they've had issues with each other for years. They do not like each other. So Nia Lee, she said that Rich is a clown. He's a bozo. What has he done for, really for people, or what has he done for them lately? And he's never done this, never done that. I said, wait, Nia Lee, what we're not going to do is take away Rich Dallas' accreditations. We wouldn't be doing this, period, if we liked him for his general personality and actions. That's the real problem. Because that's in question, That's why people feel so comfortable to go and say what they say about Rich, because Rich has done a lot of foolery and clownery. But let's not pretend like he didn't work with some good artists or, have some notches under his belt career-wise. But I understand why Nye's upset. I mean, I get it. They have a... Ooh, oh! Anyway, Cindy goes and meets up with her friend who apparently... I'm not sure if she was the one spitting game at him in the club or if it was him spitting game to her. But either way, didn't happen. They became friends instead. And he wants to know, okay, so what's going on? Because she said, she's going to be a rapper. She knows people don't take her seriously, but she can really do it. And then he said, okay, so who are you working with? She says, well, I'm working with Rich Dollars. He said, what? What has Rich Dollars done for anyone lately? I said, oh, lately. You got us there. And then... So that's when she said, well, Erica, Mina. He said, okay, TV, but not for music. Next, Emily. I know he wanted to say, well, what has he done for her lately? But they don't work together, so it wouldn't be anything anyway. So, but the important thing is that he just wants, she felt a certain way because she saw the look on Jaqua's face when she let it be known that, hey, she's transgender. And she was just like, she doesn't know if he's going to really want to work with her or not. And that makes her feel a certain way because, oh, that's her fire. I'm like, why does it look like a police car? I'm not playing around with no popo. Not today. Anyway, she's concerned because, like, the industry don't know if they're ready to take a transgender seriously when it comes to music. I said, well, you mean mainstream, because there's people of all walks of life putting out music, but you're talking about being successful mainstream. I honestly don't know either, but there's nothing like the present, so just go for it, see what happens. Then we have, now we can talk about, because it was so dumb. It was so dumb. And I don't even know what order this was in. All I know, let's talk about Kimbella, because Kimbella, when it comes to her and Joel's, let's talk about those two instead. Joel's, he's rapping, he's in the studio, it sounds good, but I said, your tongue is hitting the back of your teeth, isn't it? Because that happens to me too, but mine are real. But so I could hear it, and I said, he'll have to learn how to rap again and avoid all of that. But part of the problem is Kimbella's upset with him because she feels like he's not taking accountability for the part that drugs had to play, that played in his life, and that he's just trying to say, the cops aren't being understanding about the situation, the justice system is rigged. He's saying all the cue points that we would all say, yes, we agree, yes, we agree, yes, we agree. The problem is that we also understand that general actions have consequences. And for Kimbella, she thinks that at this point, maybe he's not ready to fully accept that. And maybe she's not wrong. So she was upset with that. Later on in the episode, he had to talk to her again to let her know that his lawyer gave him some misinformation. The confirmed information is that, in all actuality, he may go in, he thought maybe a year and change, if he would have to go in if he pleaded guilty. Now it looks like it could be upwards of 4 years and like 2 or 3 months. And we were all just like, what? Because maybe 2 years, maybe 2.5 years with good behavior, but if things don't work out, the judge could give him like a maximum of over 4 years. And that's with him pleading guilty, people. That's with him pleading guilty. So then they're going to have to work that out. Now they go into court and he pleads guilty because she said you have to decide, do you want to go and fight this, or do you want to go and just do the bid for your family and come out in a couple of years? So he's going to take the bid. Problem is that it's not guaranteed that the judge will give him, let's say, like 2 years or something. The judge could say, to really make you an example, we're going to give you 4 years or maybe even 5 years. Now, they're arguing in the car, and this argument was real because she was still upset at him. She still feels like, hey, at the end of the day, aside from your general actions, we can't go and discount the fact that you have a drug problem. I'm sorry, you had a drug problem. And that played a big part in why all of this happened, period. Joel's feels like, no, he had a situation. He acknowledges that there was a situation, but he's saying this is bigger than a drug problem. What Kimbella just wanted him to acknowledge was him not being in his right frame of mind because of the drugs played the ultimate part in this. And then it got a little petty because then it was, oh, okay, well, you were downstairs for a couple of years, and she said, what type of man would not take control of the situation? And you didn't have to stay downstairs. That was your choice. We weren't really together for a couple of years, but we were living under the same roof because you didn't go and boss up. And I'm thinking, okay, this is going nowhere. Part of me completely understood where she was coming from about taking full accountability, especially with the drugs and all that. But the other part of me felt like, hey, you have to understand that he just came out of the courts. His mind is frazzled. You came at him at the wrong time when it came to this. Maybe she thought, okay, he may be more accountable at this moment because of what just transpired. But that's not the reality for a lot of people. And that's why I felt like, oh God, this conversation is going nowhere. Sin is back. Sin is back from her vacation, and she let it be known that there was no nookie that happened on the vacation. Right, I'm sorry, there was minimal nookie because Joe just wanted to sleep. They went to Punta Cana, and he was asleep most of the time. I said, he's tired. He's been working. Come on. But I do understand what Sin is talking about. And I know Joe does too. This is just for storyline purposes. Oh, yes, rest in peace. Joe's dog passed away yesterday, I think, or maybe the day before. And so he was talking about that dog, reaching the end of the road. And so it finally happened, unfortunately. Now we get back to the mess. Jonathan has a couple of bones to carry. Jonathan has a couple of conversations. But before we get to Jonathan, we need to talk about Anais. Anais played this whole thing wrong. We could have definitely been more... Anais should have let us figured out who she was and liked her as a person before getting into the antics. Because she did it the wrong way. She started with the antics and then wanted to be, taken seriously for her music. And that's just not how it works. She's at home. She's being a mother. She's being a wife. She has 2 children. One child has autism. The other one is just rambunctious like her. So it's a lot. There's a lot going on. And of course, Ruben is there, but Ruben has a regular job, so he can't be there all the time. While Anais, she's working on her music, but aside from that, it's her taking care of the kids. And so I get why she's frustrated, because she's just like, she's doing all this stuff, and her fans and the people who have supported her musically feel like, oh, what are you doing? What's the next thing you're going to do? What's the next thing? Come on, work harder, do this and that. And she's just like, she gets it, but she's also a mom, and she's a wife. And those things don't stop just because she wants to do music. And I fully get that. And I felt her when she was saying that. And I said, dang it, you played this all wrong. You should have started with this. But maybe she wasn't comfortable putting her kids out there originally like that. Who knows? Or maybe Ruben felt like that wasn't appropriate. But anywho, we go from there. And now we can talk about John.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.
So Jonathan has a couple of issues with a couple of people. Jonathan ultimately, I'm not going to go over the individual sit downs. I'm just talking about the main ones. So Jonathan has to sit down with Kimbella. She's on this side. And then we have Sin, who's like over here right next to Kimbella. Then we have Jonathan next to Sin, and Anais on the other side of Jonathan. Okay, Jonathan was upset because he feels like, first of all, Anais, you had the audacity to go and do what you normally do, is you turned up on Juju. And Juju's my friend, and I just wanted to have a real conversation with her. But you came in so hot that by the time she came to me, it was pure fire. And that was never my goal. That's not what I was trying to do. That wasn't even the energy that I was putting out. So why would you go and do that to me? I'm thinking, because this is Anais. So then Anais got upset, and she said, wait a minute, you're the type of guy who goes, you turn up and you're getting upset with me. I'm your friend. I'm like his sister. So how are you going to go and get mad at me for trying to defend you from another person? He said, because I didn't need defended. I didn't ask you to defend me, and you went and turned up because that's what you wanted to do. And you're always so loud, and you in those wigs, and it's just like, I let my light dim so that you could shine, and it's just a bum. I'm thinking, oh my God, and they're arguing. And Kimbella, at one point, Kimbella and Sin were just looking at them like, Sin was excited because Sin's been bored in that house. She loves her baby, but she's been wanting to get out of the house, so she's enjoying this. Like, oh, okay. Kimbella just had a look of, I have actual things going on. I don't care about this foolishness. Ugh. But then he goes and starts to talk to Kimbella, and the reason why it became a big thing was the fact that Anais was sitting there for a moment, but then he went over to Kimbella and told Kimbella, hey, I was talking to Juju, and you were trying to make it seem like that it was just on me, that I was just saying these things. And then Kimbella said, don't you dare flip it on me. You're the one who went to Juju and made it seem like something that it wasn't. And that's why I had the problem with you. If we want to be truthful, and if we want to be honest about it. I said, oh, continue. And she was just saying how, yeah, you were doing way too much. You were telling her that I thought that she was secretive and sneaky. And I never said that she was sneaky. I would never say that about her. That is something. Why would you go and say that to her as if I would say something like that about her? And I said, Jonathan, you were, the mouth was going and you were saying some things. I can't deny that. So then Kimbella got upset. And she's just like, look, Jonathan, we don't need to talk. I'm going through real life stuff. And so I can't be here like dealing with this petty stuff with you. And he was just like, oh, you can't be here. You're supposed to be friends. Yeah, we can be cool, but I have family stuff to deal with. So I'm going to go. And she goes and leaves. And Jonathan's just left there. I said, oh, Jonathan's a mess. Ooh, a mess. Excuse me. So at one point, Anais did say, like I said, that, Jonathan, you're lily padding. You're saying that I'm the problem, that Kimbella's the problem, but you're the one who's actually the problem. Or, no. But you need to be accountable for your own stuff as well. That's what she said. I said, oh, that's true. Very true. Now let's talk to Yandy. Do you want to talk to Yandy yet? I'm not sure. Yeah, we can talk to Yandy. Yandy and Juju. So, no, let's talk. Juju went and talked to Remy Ma. Remy Ma is focusing on the fashion line. We saw Papoose, because of course. And Remy said that part of the proceeds are going to go to a fund that specializes in helping women who were incarcerated, and they come out and they just need the basic necessities, and that'll help make sure that they don't go back to jail for something dumb or something minor. Something that should be minor, but it's major because they just don't have the money to buy their basic necessities. And I said, okay, that's great. Now Juju is upset because she feels like Yandy. She's upset at Yandy. She thinks that Yandy has this nasty consistency of going and being a little bit two-faced. Yandy must have talked to Jonathan, because that's where Jonathan will have gotten the secretive and sneaky stuff from. And so Juju's upset, and she says, well, Yandy can't be talking about being secretive and not telling friends stuff when she was the one that went and got married. And didn't tell any of us that she wasn't married on paper. We would all understand. Why couldn't she tell us? I said, that's true. We're supposed to be friends. Especially, they need to know what storyline to go with. But Yandy, Juju, and Remy Ma, they're going to have a separate sit down, because Remy said, look, let me go and mediate this. So then they have the sit down. And Juju is upset. Juju's upset because she said, you want to know the reason why I didn't tell anyone that I was that I was no longer in the relationship with Cameron? Because she was with Cameron, the rapper. She was devastated that it didn't work. She was with him for 10 years, and then, to make matters worse, he thought that she was bad-mouthing him. And she said she's never done that in life to him, period. But he thought that, and so that made things even worse for her. And so that's why she didn't want to go and just say anything about it. And then she eventually told Remy, and that's how it got out. Well, told Remy and Yandy, but she was upset with Yandy because Yandy's first response was, oh, so when did this happen? Like, that's not the point. No, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Give me a hug. It was like, oh, so when did this happen? That's what pissed her off. I can understand that. Yandy said, here's the thing. I'm not going to say secretive like bad. I'm saying you do withhold information. And she said, yes, I do that because, when it comes to really the emotional stuff, I'm not great at that. So I need to go and process it in my own time. And I said, you know what, that's fair. But then I realized, okay, all of this matters, but what are we really talking about? What's really going on with this show? It's episode 2, and we're already kind of dialing back okay, what am I supposed to care about? I mean, really. I guess we're going to see more of Naya, Oh, I know if they're getting something. Speaking of Naya. So Naya had a performance, Jacquet was there, and Rich was there, and Naya starts talking to Rich, and she's upset because she doesn't like Rich, and Rich is like, oh, but what have you done? What have you done? What have you done? And she's just like, well, what have you done recently? What have you done lately? Here comes Cindy Starr walking in like, hey, what's going on? And I said, okay. At the time, I was okay with it because I thought, okay, maybe she's trying to break up the situation, but she doesn't really know them like that to do that. So I can see how that's going to become an issue. Naya didn't like that. She felt like, who is this woman coming in here? Just kind of, oh, it's about me type of thing. Rich was actually saying, you see how Brittany, she's coming in here nice, bubbly, humble. That's the type of energy you need to exude because things would be going differently for you if that's what was actually happening. I said, oh. And so then Brittany started to talk, Nia started to talk, and questions about who's more relevant than who. And Brittany said she's been more relevant than Nia, or at least longer. And I said, okay, what else happened? And so then they didn't get into a fight, but the argument escalated and it was random. So then Jacquet was upset with her because he felt like, that's my friend. First of all, you can't go and just become a hothead. I don't work well with hotheads. I said, yeah, because he's no longer with Cayenne. And Cayenne, she went from 0 to 100, but she did warn him, but he wasn't ready. And then Brittany was feeling bad because she realized, okay, maybe I played this whole thing wrong. But part of me felt like, does Jacquet really want to work with her? Because one, she comes off, even though she comes off really nice and bubbly, she comes off corny. And you can work with corny, but if you're doing hip hop, you can't be corny. And that's the problem with Safari. Wow, how did that just come out? But anyway, because Safari is a cool, good dude, but because he comes off corny and he kind of wants the recognition of someone who doesn't, it's weird. It's very weird. But yeah, that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week.